WBZ TV meteorologist Barry Burbank, and I have your forecast for this Tuesday night and for the next several days. And it was 1 year ago today that we had a tornado in Concord, Massachusetts. It was an EF1 with wind speeds around 100 miles an hour. It didn't happen in the afternoon or early evening. It happened on an unusual time around 3 o'clock in the morning. That was the first nocturnal tornado in Boston since 1958. Now, the path length was quite small, and the width was quite small as well, so it was a tiny spin-up, but nevertheless, it happened in the early morning hours, and so it did produce some damage out there 1 year ago. And tonight, we have a severe thunderstorm watch-up through midnight from the Storm Prediction Center. It's farther northwest of Boston, but includes parts of western Maine, much of New Hampshire except the seacoast, Vermont, and down into western Massachusetts. We'll see if that gets extended farther to the east this evening, but for now, that's the way it is, as some severe storms will be happening and are happening in New York State right now, where there's a tornado watch up. Not expecting a tornado watch up here at the present time. The potential impacts overnight, as we have a storm watch weather alert up, is the fact that some of these storms will produce some heavy downpours, but they're not going to last very long. They're going to be moving right along, and any particular storm could produce some large hail and some damaging wind gusts and a lower impact in terms of getting tornadoes. There seems to be a lower risk here, higher risk out in New York State, where there's a lot more support right now. All being caused by an approaching cold front, which is slamming into this oppressive humidity and this hot weather which we have in the eastern seaboard. On the other side, the air is turning really, really dry, and that's the kind of air which we will have here during tomorrow. But now we've got dew points around the upper 60s, almost middle 70s around Providence right now, and all the way southwestward. And then you look on the other side, and here we have Green Bay with a dew point of 51. We're actually going to have dew points here tomorrow afternoon in the low and middle 50s, so quite a change is coming. And everything is moving fast, and there's quite an intense storm up in Canada, and that's going to be continuing to produce a lot of our wind, which we'll have through much of the evening as these dew points continue to rise this evening into the low and middle 70s. Is actually going to get more humid just ahead of that approaching front. So those thunderstorms should probably keep roaring eastward, and we'll have to watch it very carefully, tracking those storms in western New England to see if they start losing some of their strength as they head toward the coastal plain later tonight. First thing tomorrow morning, it's still going to be very humid over southeastern Massachusetts, but look what happens in the afternoon. It turns very, very dry, and that's going to last quite a while. So as you watch the time stamp here in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you can see as we go through the evening, the band of thunderstorms approaches from the west-northwest. Right now, it appears that a lot of the parameters will start to weaken somewhat as we get into the nighttime hours. Nevertheless, with such a strong storm in Canada and a strong cold front coming, we can't completely rule out the fact that we could get some nasty storms getting closer to Boston around, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., let's put it that way. And then they'll start to weaken in the early morning hours, but still a chance of a few showers on the Cape. So we'll start out with a lot of cloud cover first thing in the morning, still rather humid, then boom, it dries out as the front goes by, and the temperatures start going up, and we'll be up probably, I think, going up to the middle 80s around here tomorrow afternoon. The real chilly air from Canada will not have arrived, but certainly the very dry air will certainly move in here during tomorrow. So here's what we have for your high temperatures today. So far, the observed temperature in Boston, the high was 90, 91 in Lawrence, and 91 in Fitchburg. And so in Boston, at least 90 degrees, possibly hit 91. That's the first 90 degrees we've had since July 21st. The 12th day of 2017 that we've hit or exceeded 90 degrees. The record for today, set back in 2003, was 93 degrees in Boston. So that makes it the 12th day and the first one in August, and typically we get 4. We're not going to have any more. I don't see anything anywhere near that hot for the rest of this month. As you take a look at the 7-day forecast, we're going to be having highs on Thursday, 81, then down to about 77 on Friday. Right on through the weekend and the next week, lots of sunshine, but all these days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there'll be patches of clouds in the afternoon, and there might be an isolated shower, especially over the hills north and west on Saturday and Sunday afternoons. And the wind eventually is going to turn onshore, so that's going to keep the coast a little bit cooler. You can watch WBZ News tonight at 5, 6, and 11 o'clock. You can also see it at 8 o'clock on My TV 38 for the latest news and weather updates. Have a nice night.